Okay, do you want to state your first and last name again and whom you're calling from again?
My name is Han, Thanh, but and last name Pham, Tan Pham. But I believe the organize they will help you to um, get the caseworker and call you back. I'm not the people who contact with the caseworker. So Emilia follow up with you in this with your case. I saw on in the system she put the note and you did talk with her and your message regarding with her name, Emilia.
Right.
Okay.
Again, I read that email. Again, let's follow along, shall we? And going off to today's date being June 16th, I read that email yesterday, and I seen that it
Okay,
came
good.
from. Are you going to let me? I'm sorry, it was a voicemail, excuse me. I opened that voicemail yesterday, which I have a record of that, right? So I could read it and I could play it back. From what I've read and from that voicemail that was sent, or maybe an email, it's one or the other, or both.
Yeah, because
Um,
she did call you yesterday and left a message.
are you
That's
going to
the
let me
note.
finish? So
Pardon?
when I say I'm done, you can then kind of interrupt me. Until then, don't interrupt me
Oh,
again.
I'm so sorry about that.
So let me finish what I'm saying. Either it came in an
Mm-hmm.
email or in a voicemail that she was reaching back out to me because apparently she got word that I was trying to reach out to her for something that happened a month ago, if not longer. So now you're expecting me to remember the nature of that call. So now I'm telling you, since you should have the capability, and like all call centers and all businesses, should be recording calls for security and training purposes. And if you don't, then you should get with those times. Everybody else is capable of doing that. That's the first thing you hear when you call into the system, usually. So I know that I spoke to Amelia or whatever the case may be, or left that message for her, but there is too much time that has came and went, right? I understand maybe you are, I don't know what your position is there, secretary, somebody that returns the call back, or
Mm-hmm.
whatever the scenario is. But for me to explain to you what the nature of my call or whatever it was, I'm wasting my time with you because now you're going to transfer me to her, correct?
That's we go by level. We got your information, and we supposed to transfer you to the people who responsibility with your case connect you with the caseworker
So
and
then it would
send
have
to
been
the
better.
member center,
Then it would have been
call
better.
center
Then in that case, what
in
would it?
media.
Then what would? Then in that case, what would have been better for me to do, or what you should have said in your position, for your training
Mm-hmm.
purposes? Let me train you a little bit, and that is this: reading from what you saw in the notes. And I simply said, well, I got a call or I got an emails from her. Rather than waste my time telling you what the situation is, maybe you should have just had her call me directly, right?
Yes. So
Versus you. I mean, that's kind of pointless
I
for
can
you to
read.
call me and then put me in a system where I'm already going to get her voicemail again. So
I can.
I don't understand the loopholes that you guys like to pull, but I don't play games. And the time frame is unacceptable. I don't give me no line of nothing about this COVID-19 thing because I'm tired of you all using that as a crutch. That is not an excuse. You all are a business. You all should have had this figured out before this term of this coronavirus that you want to lean on and utilize for a crutch. Some of you were let go and you're working from home. Other people were still working in the office. Not my
That's
problem.
correct.
It's not my problem
Mm-hmm.
that you did not have enough people employed for you to handle the nature of any calls. It's unacceptable. It's time that we stood ground and took our ground and stand on our constitutional rights. So,
So I can give you the phone number or transfer to Emilia. You can talk with her. She is here today.
Okay, great.
Okay, thank you. Hold on.
As you can see, another call coming in. We got silliness in that I'm recording on, right? There we go. Something that happened over a month ago, if not longer.
Your call has been
See?
answered by a via
Told
IP
you.
office.
Emilia.
Is not available. To leave a message, wait for the tone. When finished recording, press pound for more options. Otherwise, for assistance, press 0 now. Record at the tone.
Amelia, I just received a phone call coming in from whomever was noted to call me back today from the phone call that you tried to call yesterday. I got your voicemail, and now this is getting a little ridiculous. You got somebody else that's responding back to that call that I made or responded to either in an email or in a voicemail. And if you read, you would have known that most people had issues with their cell phones yesterday. If you don't have that information, I greatly appreciate to send that to you. Everybody else was aware of that. Furthermore, this has been more than a month response time turnaround. Don't want to hear nothing about anything about being behind because of the COVID-19. That's not an excuse, and it's not an acceptable one. So now you have somebody else call me who transfers me to your voicemail, which I knew I was going to get, and I am recording this entire session for my training and security purposes, so that way they are now I'll be able to reference back in my brain and see how long it takes again for a response. Until then, have a great day, and if you need to reach me, 702-518-8580, and I believe you should have my email as well. Stay safe, stay positive, stay strong, and keep fighting for your rights.
To make private, press 1. To make priority, press 2. To priority. To make private, press 1. To thank you for leaving your message. To access your mailbox.
Ridiculous, people. Ridiculous. You see how pointless that was, right? So as that call came in, I was trying to get my camera open so I could get the whole thing in the beginning. Now I gotta go back into my records and finding if it was a voicemail or an email or both. I didn't really have too many problems from what I see that they're able to get my voicemail. There was so much going on yesterday that I didn't even notice that the phones weren't working. So I can't honestly say if my phone rang or not, just because of, shuffling around through my day and really not. My phone goes off regardless all day. So text messages, voicemails, email, and that nature. Normally I carry my Bluetooth with me, but yesterday I did not do that. So I can't say if they try to call or not, and just came to across the problem that most people are aware of that I posted out in Facebook last night with, Comcast, Verizon, T-Mobile, all these idiots that are allowing the government to do what they want and getting ready for this 5G, by the way, which you may want to read into that a little bit more. Do a deep search and see what exactly that means. I'm just going to throw it out there. Best browser to do that on is Tor. Trust me. And if you read how doing that, it's not hard to figure it out, right? Anyway, so another useless call, as you can see, they called me and then say, "Oh, we got a message, so return your call. Let me get you back to who you're trying to reach." And look, got voicemail, just like I knew I would. But she's here today. Whatever. So until she calls, I guess I'm going to have to record that call, so that way all this is getting recorded, seeing this is something that they can't do, and then they expect you about a month later, if not longer, because I can't even recall now when the last time I called them. But at any rate, this is GIMME Global Exposure Network of Business with JDL. It's another exposure with the craziness businesses that are out there. But with my technology and what I do best, let's see, who was that again? So when they come up with my caller ID, UDW Home Providers, which is the union, I believe, that's calling me. Amelia. And then whomever her secretary is, they apparently should just transfer me to Amelia immediately. Until next time.